Yo, 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 what's good? In today's episode, man, as you read from the title of this video is I don't have time to work out. And honestly, what this video is going to be really about is just coming up with excuses and why, when you make excuses, you end up keeping them. And I'm going to explain that concept just a bit, but this theory about how people say they don't have time to work out, man. I Listen, man, I used to be one of these people that thought or made excuses actually on the reason why I couldn't work out some days was because I didn't have time. It's ironic now because back then I might have been working maybe a quarter of the time I am now. And I was still missing workouts. Now, like now, regularly, man, I work somewhere between 60 to 70 hours a week. I'm not even okay. Listen, I'm not even trying to say that to brag or boast myself or make myself above you. What I'm trying to explain is this notion that if you don't have time to work out, you're going to end up keeping that excuse subconsciously not to work out. And honestly, man, if I'm able to work 60 to 70 hours a week, unless you work as an investment banker working, I don't know, 100 fucking hours a week, or you're a lawyer or some shit, I might give you a pass on that, man. But I know the majority of you watching this probably work less than 80 hours. I'm gonna assume that. I'm not even hitting just one workout. I do two workouts a day. And I know some people are like, why do you do two workouts? Don't you need recovery? This and that. Bro, listen, it's for me. I'm able to handle it. Maybe you can't because you're a bit soft. But I do it regularly, man. I honestly more so do it for the mental benefit and just building up the consistency and discipline. But when people say they don't have time to work out, what they're really just saying is, I don't really make it a priority. Because if we really break down your week, man, let's say you sleep for 8 hours a day. Some of you guys sleep less, but I'll just assume you sleep 8 hours a day. Let's say you have a regular full time 9 to 5. You work 40 hours a week. So 8 times 7 is 56. You're working 40 hours. I'll add an extra 10 hours on top because I'll assume that you spend an hour traveling and an hour back. So that's an additional, that's like 2 hours of commute a day, 5 days a week. Most of you probably are not in that situation. But I'm just going to add that in there. So let's just say 50 hours, man, plus the 56. That's 106 hours. There's 168 hours, man. If we subtract 168 from 106, we're left with 62 hours. If I did the math correctly. If I didn't do the math correctly, don't flame me in the comments. I was doing this mentally, man. I'm a business major. I'm not a math major, all right? But anyways, you have 60 something hours left. And realistically, to go to the gym to get results, you probably only need somewhere between, I would say, like bare minimum 3, and like if you really want to maximize the results, like 7 to 8 hours maybe, if you're including cardio and everything. I would say maybe 3 to 8 hours, and you're still left with like 50 plus hours, man. Right? It's not that you don't have time to work out, it's just you don't make it a priority, like I said. And I'm gonna give you guys some tactics to get over this notion that you don't have time. And the number one thing you got to do is you got to plan your motherfucking day. I plan my day every single day. I know exactly what I'm going to do. When you plan your day on Google Calendars, I promise you, you will realize how much more time you have. It's amazing, man. I'm telling you, you'll turn it into a productive human machine if you live through your calendar. And that even includes like the fun shit you do. Like if you want to go out with your boys, just put it in your calendar. From Friday from 6 to 10, I'm going to be hanging out with my boy. Or I'm going to be hanging out with my girl, my family. Whoever it is, man. I'm not sure what your situation is. I'm just saying, when you schedule your time through your calendar, man, you save so much time, you get so much more done, and you can still manage your relationships and still get the best of both worlds, man. People think that it's either I gotta go hard and have no life, or I can turn up but not get the success. You can do both, and I'll put an asterisk there. You definitely got to do more work depending on what type of career choice, or if let's say you're making a business, there's going to be a period of time where maybe you're not chilling with as many people. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're just like someone who's just a regular dude, man, you just want to work, you want to get into shape, you got your friends and stuff, bro, you don't, it's not, you don't have time to work out. It's not a priority. You need to put it in your calendar. That's the number one thing. Second thing you need to do is realize, when you say you don't have time to work out, What you're subconsciously planting in your head is that, well, I can't work out when I'm busy, so I'll never work out when I'm busy. And that's stupid, because if we really break that down for a second, let's break that down. Do you not think you'll ever be busy again in your life? You probably will. You saying I'm gonna wait until I'm not busy and then I'll start getting into the gym more is stupid, because you're gonna get busy again. It's life, bro. Unless you're fucking 70 or 80 years old, which I highly doubt, because why the fuck are you even watching me if you're 70 or 80 years old? But most of my audience is somewhere between the age of 20 to 40. I know for a fact that you're gonna get busy at another point in your life. And if you're able to learn how to get into shape when you're busy, then when you're not busy, it's gonna be way fucking easier. And if you do get busy again, you'll still be able to manage and progress year after year after year. And I just wanted to wrap this entire video up with this idea that whenever you make an excuse, man, you're literally planting that idea subconsciously in your head to find a way to never hit your goal because of that excuse. And I may have not articulated that correctly, but what I'm trying to get across is, let's just say, for example, you say the phrase, "Oh, I can't get in shape because of my kids." That's another excuse. I just use time as an excuse, because a lot of people hit me with that bullshit, and I'm just like, man, I'm working 60 to 70 hours a week, uploading content, posting on my IG, doing this. I pretty much am working like damn near 80, 90 hours a week, and I still get it in twice a day. But and listen, man, I'm not even really just trying to say that to slap them in the face and make them feel degraded. I'm just trying to express that you do have time, man. Because if I have time, you definitely got time, all right? But let's just say you use the excuse, "Oh, I can't get in shape because of my kids." What you're planting in your head is that, "Oh, for however long I have my kids, I will never be able to get into shape." And I know one thing about kids: you got to live with them for what, at least 18 years? At least. You got to wait for them to be an adult. Are you really going to waste 20 years of your life because you're making up some fucking excuse about, "Oh, I have kids, I can't get into shape, and they be choosing the foods I want"? Brother, if you really have a will and a way, you will get that shit done, man. When people, that excuse right there, where people are like, "Oh, I have kids, it's hard to get in shape, they're picky eaters," it's like, motherfucker, look at the way you look. Do you want your kids to look like you? Do you really want your kids to look like you? Think about that for a second. I'm sure you don't. I'm sure you really want them to actually be in the best optimal shape, but it starts with you, obviously, right? You need to make the change first before they fucking make the change. All right? And that was just another example, but what I'm trying to get across to you guys is that you need to be able to understand that anytime you are making an excuse, you get to keep them. You're subconsciously planting that idea in your head to never hit your goal because of that reason. And if you always have that in your head, you will never hit your goal, because in the back of your head, subconsciously, you're thinking, "Yo, I can't get in shape because I have kids." Whether you think about it or not, you're planting that idea in your head. Stop making any excuse on why you can't get into shape. Listen, man, I genuinely don't even think there's a reason why you can't get into shape. I've literally seen these dudes who have both their limbs missing having a motherfucking six pack. I used to think, okay, maybe like if you have missing limbs or some special disease. But the thing is, man, unless you're really, really part of that 0.01%, brother, you can definitely get into shape, man. It's just you need to stop with the fucking excuses. And this comes with anything in life, man. Whether it's a career goal, fitness goal, school goal, professional goal, fucking, I guess I said professional earlier with career, right? Or business goal, right? When you're making these motherfucking excuses, you get to keep them. Just remember that. And if you get to keep them, that means you will never hit your goal, because you've already planted that idea in your head that I will never be able to obtain the success because of that. All right? Stop making the excuses. Ask, well, I do have this obstacle in the way, but how can I manage to overcome it and still hit my goal? Start asking questions like that. One of the best ways to kind of get over hard times, honestly, is just asking yourself enough questions to figure out a solution. Most of us are so fucking habitually, I can't even fucking talk. You guys have the habit of thinking automatically without putting much thought into the reason why you're thinking the way you do, if that makes sense. We are so quick. We have automated responses. "Oh, I can't get in shape because I don't have time to work out." Really? Did you look at your time? Do you look at how you spend every single hour of your day? Ask yourself questions, man. How many hours am I spending at work? How many hours am I going to sleep? How many hours am I spending with my family? How many hours am I spending with my girl? All right, let me add all that up. I'm left with this many hours. How many hours a week do I need to work out? Oh, I only need to work out this amount of hours per week. Well, now I have a solution. It's the number one way to kind of get over these excuses you come up with is ask yourself enough questions to figure out a way on which you can solve the issue, man. All right. With that being said, man, I hope you guys got some value from today's video. If you made it all the way to the end and this is your first time watching me, man, subscribe to the channel. I'm uploading every single day, man. We don't miss out here. Other than that, I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one.